I have no script, I have no nothing in front of me. I'm just going to talk about a concept I learned recently when I consumed information about the Michelin brothers, about how they scaled their business from literal nothing to being a multi-billion dollar company. You know, the tires, the Michelin tires. So, what is this principle, this concept is going to be? Something which is kind of intangible, but you will understand when I put into the context of business. Because what I learned and why this is really important is because when the Michelin brothers started selling tires and when they invented the tires which has air inside, they realized that no one is actually driving cars, or there is no car market at the moment, or just people are not going through, bicycles which they also sell tires for. So they were like, okay, this is a big problem. So what they realized is that they need to create the condition for their product to be sold on the market. So what they started doing, and they are still doing this today, is that they are creating a movement, meaning that they realize if people travel more, they need more tires because the tires wear off. And that's how they realize they need to go to succeed. Because if they only, try to sell a tire, then like, hey, this is the best tire ever, buy my tire, buy my tire. Like, why would they buy your tire? Because no one is traveling, there is no real condition in the market for them to actually buy you tires or buy from you tires. So that's how they thought about this actual selling a product on the market, which was needed, but there was no huge market at that moment for that. And that's why this is important, because whatever you're selling, it can be a B2C coaching offer, info product, or a growth operator product, whatever it is, you need to create the right conditions in order for that product to be sold. Now, what I'm doing is I help people create YouTube content for them to get more clients. Now, for me, how can I create the conditions for that? Is I have to make sure people believe that the best client acquisition method online right now is providing value and then getting clients. And if I make sure that people do believe that providing value is the best way to go forwards, then they are have to inevitably do that. And when they go to, fail, because they don't have the exact knowledge on how to create good YouTube content, they have to turn towards me. So that's why this is important, because what you're selling, let's say I have a friend also, like I have a friend who sells webinars and helps creators run webinars. And we talked about, nowadays it's harder to get clients. And we talked and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but who you are targeting exactly with your webinar? And he's like, well, those types of people who haven't yet run a webinar. And the reason for that is because those people who already done it most likely know how to do it or had some kind of help to do it. And I'm like, okay, I completely understand. But then it comes the question like, if someone hasn't ever in their life run a webinar, you have to convince them to run a webinar. So that's why it's really hard to get someone to actually start working with you, because a webinar is something you have to convince them first and then convince them that you are the best one. While if, let's say, only target people who are doing YouTube content, I can be like, okay, brother, this YouTube content is just trash. Like, let me help you. Of course, not in this form, because that's not a good way to get clients. But this is the idea. If I see that their content is not that good, I can come in as a method of helping them get more clients and blah, blah, blah. But I don't have to pre sell YouTube, because they know that YouTube is actually working right now. So that's exactly how this is going to go. Like, exactly. So that's what I wanted to really talk about, is what you are selling. Define what you're selling. Like, it can be either a simple coaching product, or it can be a growth operating product. You have to make sure that who you are targeting and how you're, by the way, how you're basically selling it should be aligned to make the buying of the product easy. Now, what I exactly mean by that is you have to create the conditions for your product to be sold on the market. And that's exactly how you're going to win with it. Now, that was the whole concept which I wanted to talk to you about. If you have any kind of questions around this, I would be more than happy to answer them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.